Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 121. And my name is Anisha. I have a background in psychology, and currently I am working as an aligned life coach, where basically I help women to live in alignment with what matters most to them so that they can have an authentic and fulfilling life. So, yeah, this is a little bit about me. And I would love to know about you guys. So yeah, feel free to type in where you're joining us from, or is this your first time? And in like after 1 or 2 minutes in which I get to know you, after that we can dive into the live. Hi, Bev. Hello. Bev says she is joining us from Cape Town and she is joining for the very first time. Thank you, Bev, for giving this a chance. I am happy that this was going on your screen and you were like, okay, let's check this out. I hope that you do receive something of value from this live. And hi, Sumit. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so since there are some new people here in this space, let me share with you what we do here. Okay. So we usually start these lives with around 10 to 15 minutes meditation so that we can raise our vibrations and receive that higher wisdom that wants to reach us at this moment of our life. And the meditation that we do is actually inspired by the quote that you must have seen if you opened that Insight Timer app today. So on that main screen, you might have seen a quote. So we meditate upon that quote and program that wisdom into our subconscious mind. Okay, so that's about the meditation. Hi, Michelle. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining. You're very welcome in this space. Okay, yes, I was telling you about the format. So we do a meditation and then we jump into the next phase, which is about spinning the wheel of wisdom. That's why the name Wheel of Wisdom. So, we spin that wheel, and the universe, God, divine, source, spirit, angels, ancestors, basically whatever you believe in is here to guide you, chooses a book for us from that wheel. Okay. And once we have a book, then we play a game where I ask you guys to choose some numbers and we dive into that. So I will go into more details, when we get to each part. But for now, I would love to know, are you guys ready for a meditation? Are you guys settled in a quiet place where you can meditate? And if you are, you can type ready in the comments, or you can press the heart somewhere here around your comments to let me know. Okay, so let's see what is going on in the comment section. Hi, Amelia. Welcome. So happy to have you here. And Emilia is welcoming wonderful Bev. Yeah, Emilia is one of our regulars here, an important part of our community. So yeah, I love, you when you guys welcome each other and make each other comfortable and offer love and all of those things. So yeah, thank you, dear Emilia, for doing that. And okay, so Emilia is ready, Sumit is ready, and we have got some hearts. So I'm going to take a sip of water and then we will begin with the meditation. Okay. So begin by arriving in a comfortable position. You can either lie down or sit up, whatever your body needs right now. As you begin to settle into this position, you notice a gentle sense of heaviness in your eyelids. So you notice your eyelids becoming heavier and heavier, and they are moving closer to each other as if they are magnetically drawn to each other. So if you feel ready, allow them to finally meet and your eyes to be finally closed, feeling your eyeballs resting in the sockets, and know that you can come back to full attention and alertness whenever you need to. But for now, allow yourself to to sink deeper, resting your awareness on the natural rhythm of your breath. With each exhale, notice that the sense of relaxation doubles up within your body, feeling more and more relaxed with each exhale. Relaxing physically and relaxing mentally. Today, we are going to meditate and absorb the wisdom from a timeless quote by Mahatma Gandhi. And the quote is: to lose patience is to lose the battle. To lose patience is to lose the battle. Letting these words sink deeper within you. This quote is inviting us to remember that impatience clouds judgment, fuels anger, and often lead us to react impulsively rather than intentionally. Whereas patience is power. It's the quiet confidence and trust that everything meaningful takes time to grow. When we lose patience, we lose connection to the very force that allows transformation to happen. And when we lose patience, we lose our center. our ability to respond with clarity, wisdom, and compassion. So, today we will invite this wisdom to take root within us, within our subconscious mind, using some affirmations. So, first, let us access our subconscious mind. So, in a moment from now, I am going to count from 5 down to 1, and with each number that I say, you will find yourself drifting deeper and deeper into a completely relaxed state. 5. Feel your forehead softening. 4. Your jaw unclenching. 3. Your shoulders loosening just a little bit more. 2. Your arms and legs are getting heavier, sinking into the surface beneath you. 1. Your entire body is now fully relaxed, and we have reached the door of your subconscious mind, which is wide open. So, from this point on, you will let go of all the outside noises and simply focus on my voice. I will now share certain affirmations with you that will help you feel wonderful in every way. I will repeat each statement 2 times. For the first time, simply listen, and on the next time, you can repeat that affirmation after me in your mind. So let's begin. I release my hold and let life unfold. I release my hold and let life unfold. Life flows best when I rest and trust the quest. Life flows best when I rest and trust the quest. Endurance refines what haste undermines. Endurance refines what haste undermines. Flow, not force, is my truest course. My flow, not force, is my truest course. Waiting is weaving the wisdom I will need for receiving. Waiting is weaving the wisdom I will need for receiving. I trust my pace. I am guided by grace. I trust my pace. I am guided by grace. I soften into the unknown and let life be shown. I soften into the unknown and let life be shown. In life's slow song, I find where I belong. In life's slow song, I find where I belong. I walk in trust, not in rush. I walk in trust, not in rush. You did great, and now it's time for us to return. So, in a moment from now, I am going to count from 1 up to 5, and at 5, you may choose to open your eyes, feeling refreshed and ready for the wonderful day ahead. Or you can choose to simply drift into a peaceful sleep if it's time for you to rest. 1. Awareness returning back to your body. Bringing in small movements like wiggling your toes and your fingers. Allow yourself to move your body in whatever manner it is feeling called to. Two, feeling the air against your skin. Feeling the boundary of your existence in this manner. 3. Noticing the sounds around you. 4. Taking in a deep, refreshing breath. And finally, 5. Opening your eyes gently or letting them stay closed and drift into a wonderful sleep. Noticing the objects around you. Welcome back to the space. Thank you. If you guys feel called to share your experience of the meditation, you're welcome to do that in the comments. And if you don't feel like typing, you can simply press the hearts, as some of you are, to let me know that the practice resonated with you. And before I go back to the comments, I see that some new people have joined us while we were meditating. So I want to say welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 121. And in case you guys missed the meditation or joined late, I will let you know, I will share with you where you can, connect with the meditation, do the meditation towards the end of my life. But for now, let me go through the comments and then move on to the next section, which is about tapping into that wisdom, receiving that message that wants to come through, that wants to reach you at this moment of your life. And we are going to do that. We are going to tap into that wisdom in a very fun way. Okay, let me read the comments and then we will move to the next segment. Bev says, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Bev. I am glad that you like the meditation. And as Amelia has done, I invite you guys to actually share the affirmation that resonated most with you or create one of your own and, mention that in the comments so that, you can affirm it truly so that you can invest more energy into this so that it becomes a part of your reality. Okay. Amelia says that was wonderful. Thank you. And the affirmation that most resonated with Amelia was life flows best when I rest and trust the quest. Thank you, Amelia, for sharing that. Yeah, it was quite a tongue twister. Okay, so now, my lovely, amazing, beautiful people, it's time for me to show you guys the wheel uh, through which we're going to receive some wisdom from. Okay, yeah. So, my lovely ones, this is our wheel of wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of 31 books, 31 transformational books that I have came across in my own journey of, personal growth or healing and all of that kind of stuff. So, now that we are more open, now that our vibrations are raised after that meditation, we are going to tap into some wisdom through this wheel because the universe, God, divine source, spirit is going to choose a book for us randomly from this wheel, and then we will, dive in further for the reading. But for now, I invite you guys so that we lead the direction of this live. So for that, I would like you guys to take a moment and bring to your mind, is there anything specific regarding which you would like some guidance? So, if you feel like you can share that in the comments, or you can simply type ready so that I know and I can then spin the wheel. Okay, and if you have nothing specific that is going on in your life regarding which you would like some guidance, you can simply set an intention that may I be open to receive the guidance that wants to come through for me, for my highest good. So, yeah, let me know when you guys have set an intention or thought of something regarding which you would like some guidance. And Sumit says, love the meditation. Thank you so much for sharing that. I am glad that you enjoyed it. Okay, April says hello. Hello, April. Welcome back. Happy to have you here again. It's so nice to see you, so many of you coming back. It means a lot. I am so happy that you like the space or you get something out of it. Okay, Sumit would like some guidance regarding making a decision. Okay, let's see what comes up. Okay, so are you guys ready? Have you guys thought of something? And yeah, if you cannot type, you can just press the heart to let me know that, yeah, you have thought of something because I know you guys sometimes are doing some other stuff. Okay, Bev is ready. April would like some guidance on balance. And we have a lot of hearts. Okay, so whatever it is that you guys have thought, bring that to the forefront of your mind. Hold that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came for all of us today is The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down. So it is like kind of perfectly, mending or something, going well with the meditation that we did today around patience. So again, the title of this book is The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down. How do we calm in a busy world? And this book, this amazing, beautiful book, has been written by Heyman Sunim. Okay, so let's see what wants to come through this book. And it's okay if you are not resonating with the title because something different might come up from this book that is not even related to it. So, yeah, keep an open heart, keep an open mind for that. So, give me a second to choose some numbers so that we can play a game. Okay, let's see. So, my lovely ones, in a moment from now, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to, rush because that is not either the title of the book or the meditation that we did, okay? Instead, I want you guys to take a moment and see which number comes up for you. And then, once you guys share all your numbers in the comments, I will go through them and choose a number randomly that I am feeling called to. Okay. So, in this way, we will get to tap into that collective wisdom and, receive that message that wants to reach most of the people present in this space. Okay. So, I invite you guys to choose a number between 15 to 130. Here you go. And thank you for all the lovely hearts, they keep on flowing in. And I can feel your love. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Blanca, Michelle, Emilia, Sumit, April. Ooh. Both the people came up with the numbers simultaneously. Interesting. I love, like in most of the sessions, two people's energies align, and I love that moment so much. It is so magical. Okay. Oh, okay. We got three people choosing 100. Interesting. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Thank you, We usually goes with that number, 77. Hmm. Anyone? Okay. Sorry for the noise that happened. At least I got to fill my cup. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So we have all the numbers that wanted to come in. So let me go through these numbers and see which number am I feeling called to. Okay. So yeah, you guys might already have thought of the number that we are going to go with. And the number is that it is 100. And the number has been chosen by Sumit, April, and Bev for all of us. Thank you guys for choosing that number. Okay, let's see what wants to come through so bad from page number 100. Okay. So there are like multiple readings I think in this, but yeah, uh I, I will go through the ones that I feel called to. Okay. So the author says, yay, Sumit is celebrating. It was actually your 100 that I felt called to most, Sumit. So yeah, let's see what wants to come through. So the author says, knowledge wants to talk, wisdom wants to listen. A foolish person thinks, I already know that. He keeps anything new from coming into his mind. A wise person thinks, I don't know the whole story. She opens herself up to even greater wisdom. So remember, and that is exactly what this space is about, that because I believe that we all already know, we already have that, ultimate truth, that real truth within us. But we sometimes need a reminder to really listen to those messages, to those reminders that are coming back to us at this moment, because, you know, we might heard of it before, we might know of it, and we might even know of a particular concept, but sometimes, things are said in a different manner, a slightly different manner, and they really click that time, So the author is inviting us to be open and to listen and to receive and hold this mindset that, I don't know the whole story, instead of saying, I already know that. And what else is coming up from for me when I read that is also, this is also applicable to your thoughts, because when you are in a situation and you have a perspective of it, you believe certain things about that situation, you have your own version of truth about that situation in your head. So, a foolish person, according to the author, or I might prefer calling him or her a rigid person. So, a rigid person might think that I already know what really happened, I do not need to question it. I do not need anyone else's opinion, or I do not need to even, yeah, to even sit with it, anything. But I know what happened, and that's it. And that's it. The doors are closed. The doors are closed to any other sort of information, and we are only storing, and there is fun fact, we only actually let in the information that all that confirms the beliefs that we already hold within our subconscious mind. Okay, our mind do not, let that counter information in, usually, because it creates how do I say it? Yeah, it creates resonance, sorry, dissonance within your mind. I do not have a better word, but yeah, chaos. It creates chaos in your mental world. So that is why the mind only usually it's this is a setting by default that it let it lets in the information that is already aligning with the information that is in your head. Okay, so, in this way, we only let in that information when we were in the situation. And now we are close that we say that I know what happened, or I know, I already know that. And that is a sign of a rigid person. And if you relate to that, then that's okay. You can shift your mindset towards this one, the mindset that a wise or a growth oriented person have, which is that I don't know the whole story, which is true actually. You never know the whole story. No matter how sure you are, that is not the whole story. So you open your mindset to that maybe, I let in that information, but maybe there is all this other information that I ignored. So maybe I did not know the whole story of whatever happened for me within, whatever happened at that moment. And when we do that, we actually, when we just adopt this mindset, we open that door to let more information in and have more clarity of the situation and have a 360-degree perspective of that situation that would help us, move forward, that would help us have a better understanding, that would evoke certain beautiful things within us, like compassion, all of those different things. And we actually applied this whole thing, this whole concept within our last live, where we see that how more understanding can lead to more compassion within us, or can even transform the hurt into compassion. So that is the message that is coming up for us, that instead of saying, I already know that, maybe I don't know that. And, I don't know the whole story. So that is one piece of wisdom that wants to come through from this page. And there is one more, you know, um, line or paragraph highlighted here, but I'm feeling complete. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this page up. And before I move to the next reading, I wanted to ask you guys that um, is there any one of you who is struggling with like negative thoughts or who would like to know about all the beliefs that they have about themselves? And if there is someone, let me know if you would like me to share certain resources that I have regarding that, regarding identifying, just like this pattern, there are different kind of thinking patterns that are not useful for us. So, yeah, so if you want, I have three resources around that. I can share them with you. So let me know in the comments if you would like me to share. And if not, then we can move ahead. Okay. So let's move on to the next reading. Also, you guys can let me know if like this reading is resonating with you, or if something else came up as I was reading that. Feel free to share that in the comments, because I always say that wisdom is not coming through me or through these books, but this is the space where we are open to receive that from any source, and that source can also be you. So, yeah, if you feel called to share something, feel free to do that in the comments, and we will listen. Okay. So, mm, yeah, so there are no comments until now. So, yeah, let me spin the wheel again and see what wants to come through. So, again, if whatever it is that you needed guidance on, you haven't gotten that, then again, bring that to your awareness, whatever it is that you want, some wisdom on as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came for all of us is Full Catastrophe Living. Full Catastrophe Living. Using the wisdom of your body and mind to face stress, pain, and illness. And the book has been written by John Kabat-Zinn, who is also the very first person, who is a pioneer, who is the one who brought mindfulness to the West. So let's see what this book wants to convey to us. Full Catastrophe Living. Give me a second to choose some numbers. Okay. So again, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between two numbers, and no need to rush. Choose a number that you are feeling called to, and then I will pick a number based on my intuition. Okay. So I invite you guys to choose a number between 15 to 555. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, V. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Deb. Anyone else who would like to choose a number? Okay, so let's see which number am I feeling called to amongst these. Okay, so the number that I am feeling called to is 150, and the number has been chosen by Emilia for all of us. Thank you, dear. Okay, let's see what is on page number 150. So, the title for this is Cultivating Strength, Balance, and Flexibility. And the subtitle is Yoga is Meditation. So, the author says, as you have probably gathered by now, bringing mindfulness to any activity transforms it into a kind of meditation. Mindfulness dramatically amplifies the probability that any activity in which you are engaged will result in an expansion of your perspective and your understanding of who you are. Much of the practice is simply a remembering, a reminding yourself to be fully awake, not lost in waking sleep or enshrouded in the veils of your thinking mind. Intentional practice is crucial to this process because the automatic pilot mode takes over so quickly when we forget to remember. So, in this paragraph, the word that highlighted for me was that much of the practice is simply a remembering, a reminding yourself to be fully awake. So, most of the times when we are doing meditation, or, you might have had this myth or in your mind or this unrealistic expectation in your mind when you started meditation, when you even went into mindfulness meditation, that your attention should not waver from your breath or from any other part of the body or any other object that you are aware of. But as the author says, that most of the practice is about remembering, it's about coming back so that you develop this tendency to come back to whatever you are intentionally focusing on. It can be your breath, it can be a quality that you are trying to cultivate, it can be, a sense, for example, the sense of sound. It can be anything. But the practice is to come back to it again and again, to come back to to your intentional focus, to the object of your intentional focus. And so it doesn't matter how many times you get lost, how many times you get lost in, whatever your mind is telling you, as the author says, that enshrouded in the wheels of your thinking mind, or that automatic, that autopilot mode that you are in, which you are very familiar with. If you um so you might have encountered that autopilot mode when you are, for example, going from your work to home, and you reach your home and you didn't even realize, what was in the path. Or, you go to the bathroom and take a shower and you come out and you don't even realize, where was I when I was taking the shower? It was pretty quick. Or when you are brushing your teeth and you don't even realize when was I done, like, am I done? Like, it was so quick. I wasn't even aware of that whole process. So that is how we are running on autopilot mode. So it help us to, snap out of it and to decide, this is going to be my focus of intentions. For example, if you do like a morning meditation kind of thing, then you might be familiar of setting intentions for the rest of the day. For example, today I'm going to be patient, or today I'm going to notice all the wonderful things, all the small moments of my life. And then we go about our day and we forget about it, right? So this can also be a practice in itself, that as you are going through about your day, you come back to that intention and you put it into practice. Whenever you remember about that intention, because it is a process of remembering, whenever you remember that, where did I originally intended my focus to be, to be on. So if it was patience, if it was moments of gratitude, if it was the love that is already in my life, then I come back to it and I notice those in the moment. So this is a simple practice to do that. And April says, I need to leave. Thanks for the affirmations and insight. Thank you, April, for joining in. And I hope that whatever it is that you're going to do next, goes with ease and peace for you. So, yeah, thank you for joining. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, so that was the first thing that came up for me in the first paragraph. And the next thing was to, that whatever we bring awareness to, whatever we bring mindfulness to, it can be any activity. In this case, especially yoga is mentioned to build strength, to bring back balance and flexibility into our life, into our body. So, the first time when I did yoga, I have had done yoga before, or any exercise for that matter before, any movement for that matter before. But when I for the first time did a mindfulness yoga practice, a mindful yoga practice, I was like, wow, it was so relaxing, and it was so, I don't know, I felt alive. I felt connected with my body, with this moment, because what it simply means is that if you are doing a simple yoga exercise, for example, if you are even just you know, yeah, if you are simply just rotating your shoulders back like this, So for this whole movement, you are aware of what is happening in your shoulders, like the movement. So you are aware of your shoulders and this bone, this joint bone, here. So you feel it, instead of your focus diverting into something else, or instead of you holding your breath, because that usually happens when we are doing it, without the awareness. So um yeah, so you are focused on this, you focus on this movement going upward, you are aware of the air touching your shoulders, and you are noticing the stretch that is going on here, and you just turn back, you are aware of your shoulder blades moving backwards, so this is a simple movement. It was difficult to explain it out loud. It is much easier to feel it in your body. But I do not remember the exact research finding, or the person who did the research, but it is said that whatever exercise or movement practice that you do, if you do it with awareness, the benefits of it doubles up for you, because you are aware of it, you are in your body rather than you are in your mind while you are making some movement with your hands, with your body. So it is a different experience for you. So I would invite you to, if you do yoga, or if you do exercise, or if you want to start to, then maybe try, doing any movement with full awareness. And it doesn't have to be full fledged, like downward dog or sun salutation, or like the whole thing, but just a simple movement, even like, simple neck rolls can, do wonders. And if you do it with awareness, it is amazing. Um, and towards the end of yoga, there is like a simple practice which is known as shavasana. In English, it is known as the corpse pose. So you simply lie down there, and in that moment, it is a wonderful practice. When you are done with the whole exercises, you are simply resting in your body, and you're feeling how your body might be feeling different than when you started. You're aware of it, and that awareness in itself is so relaxing. you know Usually we feel like if we need to relax, we need to do something, but when you do that, you will realize that all you need to do is arrive in your body, is to be aware of how it feels. Because if I simply ask you guys right now to bring awareness to your forehead, bring awareness to your forehead, simply notice, no need to do anything about it. Simply become aware of your forehead and the muscles around your eyes. Continue to breathe as you naturally do, becoming aware of your eyebrows, the muscles around your eyes, bringing your awareness all the way down to your mouth, your jaw, and now notice if there has been any difference in your head or your face compared to when you started. How is it feeling right now? And if you want, you can share that in the comments. That what was your experience when you brought awareness to it? And how was it different? Was the sensations different from when you started, when I started guiding you, in this moment? Or was it the same? If you guys feel called to, you can share that. For me, what it was like that some muscles, automatically relaxed, especially around, my eyes. And some muscles wanted me to, let go, and I let go. I allowed them to, just rest. So, yeah, for me, it was like, letting go because I felt like all my muscles are like very tightly holding on to here and here and here. So, yeah, if you feel called to, you can share if you did it with me. And if not, or, if I just started abruptly, then my apologies. But I just wanted to demonstrate to you in your experience that what effect can that simple bringing your awareness to your body make? And, it's like we are holding very tight. And when we are doing any exercise, it is harder when we are moving tight things compared to when we are moving flexible things, when we are moving the muscles that are automatically relaxed. So, yeah, so that is like it is not the reason, it is not the reason mentioned in the research or something, but yeah, that is what is coming to my mind. So I remember one person asked or mentioned when I asked you guys that what would you like to receive some guidance on, and what was mentioned was balance. So your comment keep on coming to my mind, and I remembered as I was talking about this because yoga did came up in this reading. So yeah, I remembered a posture that is usually associated with balance. It improves it, and it also gives you a real time test of what is happening within your body. So, like the name of it is, I think, the tree posture. So you can search for it if you want to. And I hope that that will help you, slowly and gradually develop more and more balance. And with that, with you practicing that, with you embodying that, because it also balances your whole body, then that balance might also begin to come in your life, in whatever areas or however you want it to come up. So, yeah, maybe start there. Maybe that is what wants to come through. Okay, so yeah, that was the second reading for today. Let me know if it resonated with you, Emilia, or anyone else, or if you would like to say anything else, contribute anything that is coming up for you when I read that or when I said all those words. You're welcome to share your own wisdom in this beautiful, community. And then we will move on to the final reading for today. Today it's a little like quieter here today. Yeah, but that's okay as well. Okay. So let me, take out the wheel, and my invitation for you here again is to, bring to your mind anything specific that you would like to receive some guidance on. And okay, let me read the comment first. Emilia says, I wasn't able to do the awareness exercise because I was trying to change my baby's diaper, but by bringing awareness to it, I realized he wasn't trying to give me a tough time. He was trying to be silly. I love that. And you did got the essence of this paragraph, which was exactly that, that if you bring mindfulness or awareness to any moment of or any activity that you're doing, then it would transform for you in some way or other. So yeah, thank you for, being honest and for sharing, what happened for you, for sharing an experience. I appreciate it. Okay. So, hmm, let me move on to the last reading. Okay. So, bring to your mind anything that you would like to receive some, guidance on. Hold that in your awareness as I spin the wheel. Okay. So, the book that came for all of us here is The Craving Mind by Judson Brewer. Okay, let's see what wants to come through this amazing book. So yeah, if you have a harder time letting go of addiction or any kind of craving, urge, that kind of a thing, then this is going to be beneficial. And anyways, let's see what comes through because the reading can be different from the title as well. Give me a second to open the book. Yeah, so the subheading for this book is From Cigarettes to Smartphones to Love, Why We Get Hooked and How We Can Break Bad Habits. So, I invite you guys to choose a number between 20 to 400. So again, no need to rush. Take your time. I will choose a number randomly based on my intuition. Okay. So yeah, go ahead. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, V. Good morning, Frank. Welcome back. And thank you for sharing the number. You are just in time for our last reading today. Thank you, Jules. Anyone else who would like to share a number before, I pick a number? Thank you, Linda. Okay. So let's see which number am I feeling called to amongst these. Thank you, Steph. Okay. So the number that is coming up for me is 380, and the number has been chosen by Jules for all of us. Thank you, Jules. Okay, let us see what is on page number 380. Mm, give me a second. Yeah, so it is like a quiz. And the name of the chapter is What is Your Mindfulness Personality Type? And there are, let me see, 13 questions and three types of personalities. So would you guys like to do this? Would you guys like me to guide you through this, ask you those questions and then do a total of the numbers and choose, find out which mindfulness personality are you? So, yeah, let me know. I would like your votes. That would you like me to do that or not? Hmm. I'm just looking at any information. Yeah. Amelia says, "Hi Frank. We were thinking of you and Lisa today. Glad you made it." Oh, I love that. Oh, such a beautiful community. Okay, V says yes. Um, Amelia says, tell us of the personality types. Sounds interesting. See which category resonates. Yeah, Frank also says, I'm up for a quiz. Deb says, okay. Okay. So yeah, it seems like people wants to do the quiz. Then let's do it. And I will also hmm, write mine on phone. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. So I was just looking some information so that I can give you an idea of what this mindfulness personality types is. Yeah. But yeah, okay, let's dive into it and see what will come through. So the name of this questionnaire is Behavioral Tendencies Questionnaire, and it is like a short form of the original one. So the author says, please rank the following in the order that is most consistent with how you generally behave. Okay. Not how you think you should behave or how you might behave in a very specific situation. Okay. So choose the options based on how you usually behave, not how you think you should behave or how you behaved in a particular situation at some point. You should give your first and initial response without thinking about the question too much. Okay, so go with your instinct, go with the one that came up for you first. Now, another instruction is place a 1 by the answer that fits you, followed by a 2 for your second choice, and 3 for the one that least fits you. Okay. So 1 is what resonates most, then 2, and then 3, like ranks. So the first question, the first, like the question, sorry, the first question is, if I were to plan a party, option A, I would want it to be high energy with lots of people. That is option A. Again, if I were to plan a party, option B, I would only want certain people there. Now, third, if I want to plan a party, it would be last minute and free form. That is the third option. It would be last minute and free form. So which one do you resonates with most? You can type it, you can type it separately, or you can keep on typing the answers in the comments and then send the final one, whatever you prefer. So if I were to plan a party, option A, you would invite a lot of people and it would be high energy. Option second is I would only invite certain people. Option three is it would be last minute and free form. So let me also write my answer. Yeah. So you need to like give numbers to each option, like which one you resonates most and which one do you resonate least. So yeah, I see a lot of people also went with one that I resonate with. Yeah, so for you guys, for Leslie and Therese, it would be B is like one, that is the first priority. Then the second option that resonates most. Yeah, exactly. That's what. Yeah, thank you, Frank, for sharing that. Okay. So for me, it would be mm, mm, okay. Yeah. So I will share the answers maybe towards the end, my answers. So it is all in one place. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that also works, Deb. Yeah. Okay. So, hmm. Too many B people mostly. Frank went with C. Okay. Frank is like more flowing. Yeah, I love it. It is helping me get to know you guys. Oh, this is fun. Okay. Now, second question. When it comes to cleaning my room, I, option A, take pride in making things look great. Option B, quickly notice problems, imperfections, or untidiness. Option C, don't tend to notice or get bothered by clutter. Again, when it comes to cleaning my room, I A, take pride in making things look great. B, quickly notice problems, imperfections, or untidiness. C, don't tend to notice or get bothered by clutter. This is easier, right? Writing just the letters in sequence. Yeah, I will also do that from next time. Deb, wonderful idea that you gave all of us. Okay, let's see what was all of your guys' response. So, okay, we have beam again most of the times. Ah, so you guys quickly notice problems, imperfections, or untidiness. I went with ABC. Frank says, could you repeat the name of the book? Yeah, sure, Frank. The name of the book is The Craving Mind by Judson Brewer. Maybe let me also like share the let's see, the prompts in the chat box. Like copy paste it here for you guys. Would it be easier for you guys, or is it fine if I just keep on mentioning the options out loud through my mouth? Yeah, so which one? Do you also want me to mention the prompts in the comment? Would it make it easier? What I'm doing is just fine. No, okay. So, thank you, V, for letting me know. Okay, this is fine. Okay, Deb, thank you. Yeah, because I know some people are like visual persons, so that's why I was asking. But yeah, great. So, the third question is, I prefer to make my living space A, beautiful, B, organized, C, creative chaos. Let me know if you guys want me to repeat the, you know, um, options again. Or maybe let me. Yeah. So I prefer to make my living space A, beautiful, B, organized, C, creative chaos. Hmm. Yeah, I went with yours, Deb. B, A, C for me as well. Okay. Okay. Frank says ACB. Okay, beautiful. Aesthetics is important for you. Okay, it is a nice way to get to know you guys. It's amazing. Okay, should I move on? Because there are only like three answers for this, I think. Okay, yeah, we have some answers now. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Oh, Leslie says BCA. I expected for you to be like A, it would be first, beautiful. Like for the aesthetics, Leslie. But yeah, see, I'm getting to know you guys. Okay. Now, fourth question is, when doing my job, I like to A, be passionate and energetic, B, make sure everything is accurate, C, consider future possibilities and wonder about the best way forward. Again, when doing my job, I like to A, be passionate and energetic, B, make sure everything is accurate, C, consider future possibilities or wonder about the best way forward. Okay. Hmm. Emily likes to be passionate. For me, it is BAC. Okay. Yeah. I guess Deb is aligning with me more. But yeah, okay, this is not applicable to you. Then maybe Leslie, you can think about, when you used to do your job before, then what was it like for you? Or if not, you can maybe skip it. I haven't read the whole instructions, I don't know. Okay, we have Jules as well. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Jules, for sharing that. Jules also likes to be passionate and energetic. Wonderful. So many passionate people in this amazing space here. Okay. Now, the fifth question. When talking to other people, I might come across as A. Affectionate, B. Realistic, C. Philosophical. Again, when talking to other people, I might come across as A. Affectionate, B. Realistic, C. Philosophical. Yeah, for me also cab. A lot of cab people here. Okay, Leslie says affectionate. That's nice. And I would like, this question I think you would be able to better answer for me. Yeah, okay. Okay, Deb says BCA for Deb is realistic. Wonderful. I love the mixture of people here. Okay, for Jules also cab. Wonderful. Okay, so let's move on to question six. Ah, let's see. Yeah. Now, question six is the disadvantage of my clothing style is that it may be A. Decadent, B. Unimaginative, C. Mismatched or uncoordinated. Before repeating, I need to search the word decadent. I'm not that good at English. Okay, give me a second. What does decadent mean? Mm, I'm getting like different type of answers for this. Mm, Okay, yeah. So decadent dressing means dressing with sense of luxurious excess or extravagance or elaborative style. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Going back to the question. Yeah. So the question six is again, the disadvantage of my clothing style is that it may be A decadent, B unimaginative, C mismatched or uncoordinated. Okay, we likes to, dress in style. Okay. Huh. Frank says mismatched or uncoordinated. Okay. Uh, for me, what does I'm not resonating very much with any of it, but yeah, I don't know. Let me go with this. This did not resonated much with me. Okay, Leslie says BAC, meaning okay, unimaginative. Okay, Dev also. C where goes for mismatched. Okay. So V seems like you are the only luxurious one here. Yeah, interesting choices, right? I was like, which one to go with? Hmm. So now moving on to the seventh question. There are total 13 questions. Okay, we are halfway through it. So seventh question is: in general, I carry myself. Okay, unimaginative. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Leslie. For misreading it. Yeah. I read it right, but I understood your response incorrectly. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Again, question seven is in general, I carry myself A. buoyantly, B. briskly, C. aimlessly. Again, in general, I carry myself A. buoyantly, B. briskly, C. aimlessly. Oh, it is testing my English. Now I have to search buoyantly. Okay. Okay, buoyantly means to move and behave in a cheerful, energetic, and confident way. Okay, got it. Let me also search briskly so that I don't mess it up. Briskly. Briskly also says like carrying, behaving in a very quick, energetic manner. Okay. No, typical was not. Yeah, these are the only choices that the author gave us. Buoyantly, briskly, and aimlessly. I would go with okay, mine is cab as well. Interesting choices. Okay. So I have never ever sorry, I have probably never said buoyantly. Yeah, it is. I was thinking my English is like so bad. Thank you guys, yeah, for letting me know that it is not a usually used word. I'm like after every question I'm running after to Google, please tell me the meaning of this one. Okay. Yeah, let's just go with the ones that are coming up. Let's see what happens, for fun maybe. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there is no judgment here, Frank. I don't think so that it is going to be based on A, B, C. Hmm. Okay, let's see what is going to come up. Let's see. I love that. Yeah, Leslie says free spirit. Exactly. Your own you or my words are mixing up now. Yeah, your own unique, you know, presence in this world. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we saying I believe the author is trying to have fun. Hmm. I don't know why he used like such difficult words. Or maybe he is like so much educated than me. Yeah, Emilia says mindfulness personality types you're thinking about. Yeah, I was thinking about the same. Maybe, it is going to be linked with how we usually behave. That was the heading for this. That what is your mindfulness personality type? And it is based upon the behaviors that we do, the behavior of approaching things or avoiding things, kind of like that. So So yeah, it is based upon a lot of things. I have to read the introduction for it. So if it won't make sense, I would read the introduction. Okay. But yeah, let's now, complete this. And then if needed, I will read the introduction as well. That how is it related to mindfulness? Leslie says probably. So I don't think I say briskly either for the most part. Ah. Yeah, we says what is your level of awareness? Exactly. Maybe it is at least it is making us more self-aware in terms of our behavior. But let's say how the author is trying to interpret this. I'm not sure. Okay. So so the eighth question is my room is A richly decorated, B neatly arranged, C messy. Again, my room is A richly decorated, B neatly arranged, C messy. Right now my room is messy because I'm packing for a trip, but yeah, in general it is not. So let's go with okay, my choice is BCA. Hmm. Okay, a lot of people are going with B, and Frank, as always, is going with C. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so moving on to the ninth question, which is generally I tend to A have a strong desire for things, B be critical but clear thinking, C. Be in my own world. Again, ninth question is generally I tend to A. Have a strong desire for things, B. Be critical but clear thinking, C. Be in my own world. Okay, mine is CBA. Hmm. This time I aligned with Frank, finally. Dev is ABC. A means, okay, having a strong desire for things. Okay. Jules is, yeah, same as Frank and me. Okay. So, three more questions to go, guys. No, sorry, four. Hmm. mhm. Should I move ahead? Should I move to the next question? Okay. Thank you, V. Yeah. So, 10th question is at school, I might have been known for A. Having lots of friends, B. Being intellectual, C. Daydreaming. Again, 10th question is at school, I might have been known for A. Having lots of friends, B. Being intellectual, C. Daydreaming. Mine is BAC. Okay, people had a lot of friends here. And Deb says, yes, I'm running short on time. Yeah, Deb, so in case, you missed the last part or something, or you have to go, in that case, I will post this in my group, which is Wonderful Beings. Okay. So in case you missed it, you can find it there. But yeah, let's try to, do this together. Okay. Hmm. So Leslie is daydreaming types. Okay. Love. I am loving getting to know you. Okay. Yeah. So, 11th question is I usually wear clothes in a way that is A. Fashionable and attractive, B. Neat and orderly, C. Carefree. Again, I usually wear clothes in a way that is A. Fashionable and attractive, B. Neat and orderly, C. Carefree. Yeah, mine is also C. Cab. Yeah, cab. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I messed up my numbers. I was correcting that. Mhm. Okay. Leslie says surprise. Okay. So now 12th question, second last. We are just, at the end. So 12th question is I come across as A. Affectionate, B. Thoughtful, C. Absent minded. Again, I come across as A. Affectionate, B. Thoughtful, C. Absent minded. Okay. Yeah, mine is A, B, C. It changed a little bit. Frank is really digging in the C. Okay. So now let's see. Final question, which is 13. Question number 13 is when other people are enthusiastic about something, I A jump on board and want to get involved. B might be skeptical of it. C go off on tangents. Again, When other people are enthusiastic about something, I A. Jump on board and want to get involved. B. Might be skeptical of it. C. Go off on tangents. Yeah, mine was also BAC Deb. Okay, Frank, we got a B from you. Okay, so now it's time for the scoring part. Let me share my answers with you guys as well. Leslie is thinking hard. Would let me know, Leslie, if you would like me to repeat the options. So, okay, so are you guys done? Should I share with you the um like the scoring part? Okay, Deb says yes. Okay. We wants the answer key. Leslie says A plus B depending on the source of enthusiasm. Okay. Then maybe yeah, you can pick one or think about like how you respond to most people or recently in the past year or so, how, what was the source of that enthusiasm and do a rating based on that, Leslie. Okay. So now you guys might have numbered. It might have been easier if we numbered like one, two, three. But yeah, if you can add one, two, three in front of them, or you can just use, AI or something to do that if you want it to be easier. But yeah, the instructions are now add up the numbers in each category, which is A, B, and C. Okay. So you can like, you know, for easy, for doing it easier in an easier manner, you can do it like 1 to 13. You can put the numbers, the serial numbers of it, and then make category of A, B, and C. And then, give, for one, notice which one do you like, what was the sequence? Was A1, was B1, and, do that. It would be easier. Or you can just ask, chat GPT or something. Yeah. So let me repeat the instructions, and make it completed fully. So, the instructions for scoring are now add up the numbers in each category A, B, C to get a crude score for each category. So, we need a total for each category. Okay, so sum up the numbers. And the category with the lowest score equals your greatest tendency. Again, the category with the lowest score equals your greatest tendency. Oh, okay. Leslie didn't kept score, but it was interesting. Maybe Leslie can go back and take a screenshot, or if I will share the answer questions in the group, you can do it again if you want to do the scoring. Okay, but for Leslie, it was A for most part, and for Frank, we know it's C for most part. I don't know for me what it was. But yeah, okay. So we need to sum up the score for each A, B, and C. And let me tell you what each category, depicts. A is faithful or greedy. Okay. So these are, I think, the two extremes, maybe. B, the category B or the option B stands for discerning and aversive. And C, the category C stands for speculative or deluded. Now, let me explain what that means. So, here are some general summaries for the categories. Category A, which is faithful or greedy, it says that if you scored in this one, then you tend to be optimistic, affectionate, and might be even popular. You are composed and quick thinking in everyday tasks. You are more likely to be attracted to sensual pleasures. You put faith into what you believe, and your passionate nature makes you popular with other people. You have a confident posture. At times, you might become greedy for success. You crave pleasant experiences, good company, rich foods, and can become proud. Your desire for superficial things sometimes leaves you disconnected, and at its worst, may even lead you to manipulate others. So, this was the first one, faithful or greedy. Now, let me read about the second category, which is discerning or aversive. So, category B is discerning or aversive. And if you scored in this area, then it means that you tend to be clear thinking and discerning. Your intellect allows you to see things logically and identify flaws in things. You are quick to understand concepts and tend to keep things organized and tidy while getting things done quickly. You pay attention to details. You might even have a stiff posture. At times, you are judgmental and critical. You might notice a strong dislike for certain people, places, or things. On a bad day, you may come across as grumpy or as a perfectionist. So that is about you if your score was in B. As I was reading this, I realized that I should have given you more time to first of all find your category before reading them. But anyways, you can come back to the recording and check this out, check this prescription out once you find out which category do you belong to. So the third category C is speculative and or deluded. So if you fall in this category, you tend to be easygoing and tolerant. You are able to reflect on the future and speculate on what might happen. You think about things deeply and philosophically. You might have a posture that is uneven and variable. At times, you might easily get caught in your own thoughts or fantasies. As you daydream, sometimes you might become doubtful and worried about things. Lost in thought, you find yourself going along with what others suggest, perhaps even being easily persuaded. At your worst, you are disorganized, restless, and absent-minded. So this was about the three categories. And I'm kind of curious, why did the author named it like what is your mindfulness personality type? So I was thinking about reading the introduction about it. Why did the author mention it that in that manner? Would you guys like me to read that here? Are you guys also curious or something about it? Or should we just drop it? And it was fun as it is, whatever came. Okay, Frank says yes, please. Okay. So, hmm. So the author says, throughout the book, we explored specific examples of behaviors that, with repetition, becomes habits and even addictions. If these extremes of behaviors are reinforced by associative learning, what about everyday run of the mill behaviors? So, the author has talked about extreme behaviors that led to addiction, but the author pondered about, what about the everyday behaviors that we do, what about them? What does they help us understand? So, could much of our behavior be attributed to approach and avoidance? That is, the approach and avoidance is like, seeking pleasure or avoiding pain. So usually the behavior is categorized in either of those categories. Frank says, I'm curious how this fits with the title of the book. Me too, Leslie says. Yeah, so the name of the book was The Craving Mind, and The Craving Mind, hence it is about like addictive behaviors, like, what the author mentioned, like I think smoking cigarettes or, love, which is also a form of addiction, and some other addictive behaviors. So mostly it was talking about this book was focused on behaviors. And the title of this particular chapter, or in fact, this is an appendix section, which is what is your mindfulness personality type? So, in this, that was the heading that I mentioned before. And then we went on to the questionnaire. So, yeah, I'm just reading the introduction. Let's see how the author is trying to connect all the dots. Okay. So yeah, could much of our behavior be attributed to approach and avoidance, meaning approaching that which we find attractive or pleasant and avoiding that which we find repulsive or unpleasant? Could this even explain our non pathological personalities? Steph says, what's the book, please? Steph, the name of the book is The Craving Mind. Yeah, thank you, Leslie, for sharing that. Yeah. So, yeah, so the author says that could much of the behavior fall into these approach and avoidance? And then he asks, could this even explain our non pathological personalities? So, meaning the so called normal personalities, because there are certain personality, in like the DSM, in the, how do I say it? Yeah, there are certain personality types like narcissistic personality, avoidant personality. So there are some types which are pathologized versus our normal, the so-called normal personality types. So the author says, could this even explain our non-pathological personalities? Our research team conducted recently found that a 5th century Buddhist meditation manual entitled The Path of Purification describes how quite a few, perhaps all personality traits fall into one of the three buckets, which is faithful or greedy, discerning or aversive, and speculative and deluded. So it is like based upon that, that book, Path of Purification, and it is a Buddhist scripture or book. And based on that, the author, the research team identified that there are three personality categories in which people usually fall into. And those are the ones that we talked about, A, B, and C. Um, Leslie says, what's normal? Uh, it is interesting question. Whatever is considered as non-clinical, in terms of, clinical psychology, whatever is, there are different definitions of normal, like what most people do. One part of the definition is, we classify a behavior or thought or something based on that as normal or abnormal in terms of what most people do, in terms of whether it is a harming behavior or something. And there were, I think, two more criterias for classifying normal from abnormal in terms of psychology. Uh, but yeah, it is like a debate kind of a thing. Okay, Frank says, oh, I thought it was the grieving mind. Oh, okay. Okay, now I see why the connection was not getting made. Yeah, it was the craving mind. Maybe because of my accent. Yeah, so the manual describes everyday characteristics such as the type of food one eats, how one walks or dresses, and so forth as ways to measure or determine which bucket someone generally falls into by the posture, by the action, by eating, seeing, and so on, by the kind of states occurring by the kind of states occurring, may temperament be recognized. Okay, so this seems like the I'm trying to remember the right word. Like when you read Buddhist books, there is like a stanza from the scripture. So it seems like that stanza from that book, that Buddhist book, Path of Purification, which is by the posture, by the action, by eating, seeing, and so on, by the kind of states occurring, may temperament be recognized. So that is why the author said that these three categories have been derived from that Buddhist book of Path of Purification. For example, when walking into a party, someone of the faithful greedy type might look around and marvel at the wonderful food that is being served and excitedly start mingling with the friends that she sees. In contrast, a discerning aversive type might notice how the furniture didn't quite match, and later in the night be found arguing with someone over the accuracy of her statement. Coming back to that reading that we did, that I already know that, right? I know everything. So, yeah. And the third category, the speculative deluded type, would be more likely to go with the flow. So, why did the writers of this manual bother compiling this typology? That is our question, right? So, so the answer is so they could give personalized recommendation for people who were learning to meditate. The manual may be one of the first guides to what we now think of as personalized medicine, matching a treatment to an individual phenotype. So basically, these three categories were derived so that each person get a guidance for how to meditate based on their personality type, so that they get the right instruction that works for them based on that personality type that they have, which was derived based on the way they eat, based on their posture, based on what they see, based on what they focus on, and all of that stuff. Our research group recently took this classification scheme one step further. We found that the behavioral tendencies line up with modern mechanism of associative learning, which is approach, avoid, or freeze. What we like, we approach towards it, we move towards it. What we don't like, we move away from it. And sometimes you might have noticed you guys freeze, we don't know what to do. So we tested, and then the author talks about like, the big questionnaire that they did. Um, Give me a second. Yeah. So, by more clearly seeing and understanding our tendencies in everyday life, we can learn about ourselves and our habitual responses to our internal and external worlds. We can learn the personality types of family members, friends, and coworkers, which might allow us to live and work together more harmoniously. For example, a predominantly faithful or greedy type might do well in marketing or sales. One might give a discerning aversive type a project that needs a high level of precision and attention to detail. And a speculative or deluded type might be the best at coming up with creative ideas during a brainstorming session. So basically, these types are to help us understand how, to get the customized or personalized instruction for how to meditate, which I think is not included in this particular segment. I think so. And if I find them, I will add it in the group. And also, it helps us to assign those very tasks that that person would do, that that person would be good at, that that person would enjoy naturally. And when we understand the personality type of other people, any personality type, not just this classification, other famous classifications like, 16 personality types or MBT, no, I'm pronouncing that wrong. Myers Briggs types, yeah. So there are different kind of personality classification. So what that sometimes help us is when we know that this person has this kind of personality, that for example, one of you might like to keep the room messy and other person might like to keep room, cleaned and organized. So we understand that this is the person that they are, and it has nothing to do with anything else, and from that, like, we can live in more harmonious manner. That is what the author is trying to say. Yeah, V says, I was just going to ask about the connections to how to meditate. Yeah, I was wondering since they mentioned that they would have included the instructions, but I would find them maybe, and I will share them with you. I will share that in the group, if there is something mentioned or if I can find them. Okay. So it would be easier for you guys, or it would give you some motivation to find that type. Yeah, right now, though, I cannot find anything here related to that. But yeah, it was like, anyways, it was fun getting to know you. If we didn't got anything out of it, if you feel like, yeah, it is boring. But yeah, the getting to know each other part was interesting. Frank says, yes, we, that would be interesting. Yeah, Frank, I will get to that. I will try to find it. And if I do, I will share that in the group. Okay. So let me mention the group in case anyone is not in it. So yeah, I will try to find it and share that. Hopefully I do find something because we invested like, I guess, yeah, 40 minutes in this. Okay, so hmm. Now I think it's time. Yeah. Leslie says, this analogy kind of reminds me of a book I read years ago named The Three Boxes of Life. Interesting. Okay, I will check that out. Let me see. What is the name? Three Boxes of Life. Yeah, I will check that out. Yeah, so maybe if you find that, this whatever we did boring, then maybe that book wanted to come through. We never know. So yeah, I also invite you guys to check that out if it came up for Leslie. Okay, Leslie says, same author of What Color is Your Parachute? I've heard of this book. I haven't read it ever, but yeah, interesting. Oh, Jules, thank you so much for this kind donation. It so much, it means so much to me. Because yeah, today's live was kind of quieter, and before we did this questionnaire, and then the questionnaire also didn't relate it to the heading. So I was like, you know, I was not able to find meaning this in this. So yeah, it means a lot that something, reached to you from this live. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah. Oh, Leslie, thank you, dear, for this amazing donation. Thank you so much for your contribution. And know that, both of you guys' lovely gesture is going to go to help other people find whatever it is that they're looking for, whether through my resources or through my sessions and everything. So, yeah, thank you for allowing me to do that. Okay, so, um, I guess now it's time to end this live, and yeah, and if you guys would like to, yeah, so I mentioned at the start after the meditation that in case you guys, miss the meditation, so I'm going to let you know where you can find it and about my resources. So if anyone here would like to, if you would like to leave or if you would like to, say goodbye and leave, then you can do so, because because the regular people already knows about all these resources that I offer. So yeah, if you want to, you can say goodbye, and I will see you in the next live, which is on 21st October, because I will take a break, because there are two things coming up for me. One is a trip that I'm going to, and second is a main festival is coming up for me. So I would take, so like, I usually do the lives consistently on alternate days, but for this one it is going to be a little bit inconsistency because of these little breaks that I will take. So yeah. So anyways, I will, for those of you who wants to leave, you guys can join me on 21st, but for now, you can. And for those of you who are joining for the very first time, I would love for you if you can stay for like 5 more minutes, just 5 minutes. And yeah, and just listen whatever it is that I offer and see if anything resonates with you. If I offer anything that is what you're looking for right now at your in your life right now. Okay, Leslie says, thanks again, Anisha. Peace to all. Time for a walk. I hope that you have a lovely walk, Leslie. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was lovely to have you here again. um, Frank says, I always enjoy joining in when I can. I have to change payment info on Insight Timer and will donate next time. Thank you, Anisha. Oh, thank you, Frank, for this beautiful intention of giving. That in itself means a lot to me. And I love having you here. It's a joy to have you in this space. V says, another great session. Thank you. Thank you, V. I love, it so means your encouragement today means so much because I'm not feeling, that this live is something for you. So yeah, it means so much for me to hear it from you. Thank you. Okay. So for the ones who joined me for the very first time, I hope that you guys enjoyed this live so far. And I wanted to share with you very quickly about the three places where you can find all of my resources. Okay. So, let me show you guys. Yeah. So the first place where you can find all of my resources in one place is you can go to my profile, which is Anisha Maheshwari, and in the home section, which is what usually opens when you open a profile, you can, scroll all the way down. Okay. And here at the bottom, you will find the group that I mentioned, which is Wonderful Beings, where I'm hoping to find some information about the questionnaire that we did and put it here. And here I also will put, the summary of this live, including the readings, the questionnaire, the name of the books, and everything. Okay. So, yeah, if you want, you can join here. But yeah, about talking about the three places where you can find all of my resources, this is the first place, the playlist option. So I have like 4 playlists which you can explore on your own, but let me just share the name of them in case it clicks with you or it is what you need. This one is a mindfulness meditation challenge, and all of the meditations are here are free, so that everyone can access them. The second playlist is self soothing techniques for difficult emotions. So it includes techniques to help you when you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed or when you want to regulate your nervous system. The third playlist is for negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. So if you're having a negative thought or limiting belief, and if you would like to shift your mindset and feel reassured and not alone, you can check out the tracks here. They are like very mini tracks, 3 minutes or so. And the final playlist that I have for you is Wheel of Wisdom, pick a meditation. So basically, this is the playlist where all the meditations that are recorded in this whole series of Wheel of Wisdom, which have been over 100 meditations so far, goes to. So I'm releasing them in a sequence, and one meditation comes out every Wednesday. So you will find them here. Okay, so this is the first place where you can find all of my resources, which is basically my tracks organized into playlists. Okay. Now, the second place where you can find all of my resources is courses section. On my profile, courses section. Here you will find all of my 7 courses. Okay. So three are related to negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. One is related to mindfulness, and then 3 are related to acceptance, finding joy and peace in your daily life, in your life right now, and how to stop chasing and start living. So these are like the headings of these courses. And if you want, you can explore and find them. Frank, thank you so much for this lovely donation. Thank you so much, you guys, for allowing me to create more and to show up to continue doing this. It really means a lot. Thank you. Okay. And the third place where you can find all of my resources in one section is the about section of my profile. Okay, the very end section. Here you can scroll all the way down, and here, you know, here you will find if any of the resources that I have mentioned up until now do not resonated with you or is not what you're looking for, then you can find a way here to work personally with me to get whatever it is that you're needing at this moment. And here you will also find the recording of this, live session. You will also find, some other additional free resources and a section where you can, read more about my journey, like who I am, what I, overcame, what I learned, like my whole journey in detail. So yeah, here you can find all the additional things. So these are the three places where you can find all of my stuff. So yeah, thank you for listening to me so patiently. And I hope, I really, really hope that something, you either simply enjoyed the space or something valuable came up for you. So thank you guys. I guess that's it for this live. Thank you so much for your presence, for listening to me so patiently, for all the hearts, and for this amazing support and your kind words. It means a lot. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. I will see you day after sorry, no, not day after tomorrow, on 21st at the same time. Okay. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Oh no, wait. I have also a live on 17th. Let me put it here. Oh, I haven't saved that. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but I also have a live on 17th. Maybe you can like check it out by going to my profile in the event section. You will find it. Okay. So yeah, that's it for now. Namaste.